Hey everyone, your story. This is going to be about most likely an emperor. Queen of Swords came out. Wheel of Fortune didn't come out, but it showed itself. So you're moving on. You're cutting something out. You've cut someone out and you're moving forward or planning on it due to an ending, betrayal. It looks like this betrayal was something that had you kind of trapped in your head for a while. It was due to someone's on and off again shenanigans. Their impulsive antics, player-like ways, and things like that. It also seems like you could have been trapped in your head due to the fact that feeling stuck, ruminating over a certain thought about someone going back and forth. It could be that they were trying to, build with someone else, grow with someone else. If this is a job, they interviewed someone else, but it's about, it also could be that they came back in again talking about, let's build. And so you're like, I don't really want to keep going through this, So, you've been very patient in this situation, trying to, bide your time, keep your emotions in check so that you won't, lose it. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. DMX, Sagittarius energy. So you were on the fence for a while, back and forth, dealing with this juggler, dealing with this, trying to figure out what opportunity you want to go with or person you want to go with. If you want to start anew with this individual, or if this is a new job, you were trying to figure out, doing your research, trying to figure out if this is a company that you see yourself growing in, is this a person you see yourself growing with? And so you were kind of back and forth with it. But I feel like you've gained the clarity that you need now in order to receive communication or deliberate some sort of communication. This could be about a home, a relationship, a foundation of some sort. Some of y'all could consider this person, this card could represent the twin flame card to some people. So you could consider this person, if this is about a person, not a work job, your twin flame. But with the Four of Cups coming out on top of the Two of Pentacles, you're like, I think that this is something that's too disappointing. And then, this King of Wands came out with it. So they feel like, they missed the opportunity, you know what I mean? And they're disappointed by it. It's like, I'm trying to put the stops out, but I'm on the fence on what action I want to take. But I still feel like this is a missed opportunity. But so with all that round and around rigmarole, it's like, what are we doing here? If you're not going to take any action, you couldn't figure out what it is that you want to do, you want to rush in and try to work together, but then you don't put anything behind it. You start and then you don't really follow through. This is too much confusion work. This is crazy work. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, I think I'll go ahead and make that decision for you. Yeah. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the King of Wands. Yeah. And, they think, and you potentially could think or have thought that you guys were a perfect, passionate duo. Maybe you have a child together. Maybe you talked about having children. But this talks about a message of action. Even some small action would have at least, allowed me to see that you have a real interest, but you didn't do that. So in turn, there's a message or an action of walking away, walking away. Because I need to distance myself. This might be a temporary break. This might be a permanent break. But I need to distance myself because I'm not fulfilled, Get my mind together, regroup. And your guard is up. I've been through a lot in this situation. And then I'm hearing the other side. Tomorrow, I don't want to be a player no more. I'm not a player. I just crush a lot. Guard is up. I've been through a lot. You've been cheating, pimping, pandering, and all that. I've had enough. Moving on. I need to get myself to a calmer place mentally. I need to get to a calmer place mentally, and I need to reflect. I need to become the unattainable person that I was meant to be. You can't be vulnerable. You closed off. I've expressed myself. I've shed my heart to you. Nothing has changed. And I'm going to move on. And I'm moving towards a path of distance and rejuvenation. And that's what it is. That's what it is with this story. All right. So with that being said, continue to like, share, comment, and follow. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.